Monday, October the 25th, 2010, and I'm out in Tring in my home county of Hertfordshire. I'm going to be doing book 1, walk 11, which is a 13.5 mile walk from Tring to Wendover in Bucks. Today, unfortunately, is the last time I'll have an opportunity to do a longer walk, because obviously we put the clocks back next week. Always a sad day, that. So 13.5 miles today. It's absolutely glorious. Sun's shining. It's been a frost last night, and the weather is perfect for walking, in my humble opinion. So let's get cracking out there. It's about 6.5 hour walk anticipated, so that gives me about 5:30, 6 o'clock return at Wendover. 5 minutes in, and taking these steps down to the towpath. There's the Grand Union Canal just down there, and it would appear that that is part of the Ridgeway National Trail. Well, in fact, this is called the Albury Millennium Walk. Lots of information there about the path. Indicator board over there. London, Birmingham. Lovely colours already, and that's down by the canal. 10 minutes along the towpath, absolutely glorious. Just me and a robin in the background there, and a wren. There's 4 kilometres of this towpath to follow initially, before we branch off towards the reservoirs. Absolutely delightful. On the stone bridge mentioned in paragraph 2, looking back at where I've just come from, and to my right, looking up at the Chilterns, and here on the bridge, pretty overgrown canal here. I'm headed that way, on the left hand side of the canal this time. Early morning frost still on the ground, though thawing rapidly with this sunshine, which hasn't yet hit that area. This is the 3rd bridge mentioned in the text, which I'm going under and through. Canal side scene at Buckland Bridge, with the branch off to Wendover signposted over there, which is actually 6 miles by that route. Anyway, we're continuing straight on. Braunston 55, Brentford 38. Okay, lock number 40, as mentioned in the text. Here we take the higher path up there, as opposed to the towpath, next to the reservoirs at the moment, which apparently were built to provide water for the Grand Union. Here we have the first of the reservoirs, Birdwatcher's Paradise. Clearly, as the BTO do a lot of work here, I believe. Quite a few people knocking around on the walk today. It's half-term week, that's why. Little information board here, also marking out lots of different walks. The reservoir ahead of me, or the one I've just videoed, is Marsworth, and the one behind me that I'm just about to follow is Startop's End. Lots of swans and passing geese. Noisy mallard in the background. Those depth gauges there indicate how little water's actually in this reservoir. Looking down on the angler's retreat. Information board telling us more about Tring reservoirs. This is now Tringford Reservoir. And amongst the information here is apparently pipistrel bats in attendance, sparrowhawks, various fungi, dab chicks, great crested grebes obviously, stronghold of theirs here. Interesting method of fishing. Points 7 and 8 in the revised text. Styles have now been replaced by kissing gates. The clump of trees and landscape just before Wilston Reservoir, which is just over there in the distance. Wilston is actually a nature reserve, wetland habitat and woodland. Not quite sure if his camera's picking it up, but on the edge of Wilston Reservoir just there, in amongst the reeds, some steam where the sun's drying out the reeds. Again, evidence of how low the water level is. Glorious. Flock of Brent, I believe, geese. Very noisy. Busy eating whatever's in that field. I'm reliably informed by a twitcher I've just spoken to that those birds there that I can't quite get in view are golden plovers. Okay, yeah, you can just make them out. Yeah, shame, just out of range. Anyway, it's a glorious view looking back across this reservoir. Look at that. What a cracking day. Couldn't ask for more, really. Yes, confusing notes just after point 13 in the text, as identified by others. So I'm now following the updates by Helen for points 14 and 15, which are getting me where I need to be. This is St Mary's Church, Drayton Beecham. Different kind of scenery now. Getting more Chilterns like. These gates were erected in 1938. Good craftsmanship. Stood the test of time. Apparently a burial site of a Saxon princess was discovered nearby in 2001. Must have been while they were building what looks like a very modern bridge here. It's called the Saxon Way Bridge. Opened in October 2003. Some confusion about whether there's a footpath sign mentioned on the indicated on the fence. Clearly there it is. And you can see now that the farmer has indeed marked the way across the field. There's a telegraph pole and a track clearly marked. So that's point 17. There's some confusion about whether you go across the field diagonally or not, where you do. Sparrowhawk there. Probably as close as I'm likely to ever get to one. Just to enter, about to enter Buckland, Buckinghamshire's best kept village apparently. Which I find hard to believe, bearing in mind the villages I've seen in this county. Just behind me there's what used to be a pub, the Rothschild Arms, dating from 1858. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the infamous family. No doubt. It's now a residential house. It's coming up 1:45, so it should be soon time for lunch, I should imagine. So here we are, All Saints Buckland, dating back to 1273 apparently. So there we have it. Would make a delightful lunchtime spot actually. I wonder. Bench there waiting for me in the sun. Yes, this chair donated by Councillor Ray Thorne of Buckland and his wife Nellie. He died in 1984 by the looks of it. It's won me over, starving, so yeah, probably won't find a better spot before the suggested spot in Aston Clinton. Nice and peaceful. Cracking.